Welcome to Insight into Independence, the official mortgage talk show brought to you by Independence Home Loans. Welcome, Garrett.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on this episode with us.
Absolutely.
We're so excited to have you. How do you feel?
Excited. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to go through this. I've been thinking about it all week.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the episodes or no?
Yeah, I watch every one of them.
Really?
Yeah. I loved Cats. Barry's was really, really cool. So, yeah, I watch them like every single time. It's really cool.
Well, I hope you watch this one and you are excited to see it. Maybe in the future, look back at it and see how much you've grown.
Yeah.
How long have you been at IHL?
So I started in IHL back in January of 24.
Okay.
So I'm going close to my second year now. So I'm about a year and a half in, but it's been amazing, truthfully.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody here loves you. They call you their son. I think everyone's just really happy to have you here. You started in the mortgage industry really young. What drew you to this field?
So my cousin was actually the main reason that I joined the mortgage industry in the first place. He was in the mortgage industry when I was like really close to graduating high school, and he actually took me to Europe like during the Earl season, so kind of close back during COVID time. Yeah, I just kind of realized like this is something that I wanted to do. It seemed really, really cool. He was always super passionate about it, and I always like heard him working from home, and I always thought I was like, that's something I can do for sure. And I just didn't know what I wanted to do out of high school, and I didn't want to go to like college, so ended up going with this, and I loved it ever since.
Yeah, I mean, it's paid off.
For sure.
And I think a lot of young people, nobody really comes out of high school knowing what they want to do. Even college, they're still sometimes changing their path and pivoting. So
yeah,
I'm really glad that what you chose worked out so wonderfully for you.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm super, super grateful. I just didn't want to like end up going through college, paying so much money for something, and then changing my mind a little bit later on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know some people that went through that. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But I know it wasn't always easy for you being here as well. You went through 3 months unpaid. Is that true?
When I first initially started, correct. Yeah, I was training. I was getting all my licensing done and everything like that. But they told me they weren't going to pay me, and that as long as I like worked hard and everything like that, they didn't even guarantee it. They said maybe we'll give you a shot. So I went through that, and thankfully I was able to become a loan officer after that.
Yeah. What motivated you to stay consistent during that time?
Because I realized that it wasn't something that I really wanted to do when it came to college, and I had to focus on something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it was my only thing that I had to do at that very moment in my life that was very important to me. So for sure, I stayed very consistent with it, and I'm glad because it paid off, like you said.
Does being like a younger LO ever make you feel underestimated?
That's a very interesting question because truthfully, I think they respect me more for it because I am very young. And I think one of the main things I get told, especially by a bunch of the other LOs, are that they wish they would have done it at my age too. You know what I mean? That it's something that they're very happy for me. They're very proud. So honestly, it makes me a little bit happier that I am at my age doing what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just sounds like you found the gold mine first rather than everybody else. It just took him some more time to get there. You just had your biggest funding month. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And not only was it your biggest funding month, but it was the company's biggest month. How does it feel to have contributed to that success?
It's really, really cool. It's cool seeing the company grow from where we started initially. When I started back in January, it was literally like probably 20 people at max in the office. You know what I mean? So it was crazy to see how much we've grown and our numbers changing. I even remember when we first hit our first 100 million. Like, that was a very big deal. You know what I mean? So now me seeing that we can do that every single month with the amount of people that we have, it's really cool seeing how it all like worked out at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, even being here since March, I've just seen the bar just consistently get raised and raised and raised.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that because like on the marketing side, we don't deal with numbers. That's not how we operate day to day, but you guys just keep raising the bar, and it's super awesome to see. Your motivation to come in every single day, do you feel like that's more like external or more internal?
I would say probably more internal, and it's really kind of just more on the end of it's like a mindset type of thing that this is my career, this is what I want to do with my life, and like to make sure I keep pushing forward, because you know what I mean, like if I stop here, what else is there for me? You know what I mean? I don't want to just stop out of nowhere, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I get it. It's kind of like once you keep the ball rolling, you don't want to lose any steam.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm sure you'd figure it out. You figured it out here quickly, so I'm sure you figured it out anywhere.
Yeah.
But if you could look back at when you first started, what would you tell yourself?
That's a good question. Honestly, I would probably tell myself to, as funny as it sounds, take as much of the advice that I was given. Because there were some times that people would give me advice and I kind of just brushed it off, or it wasn't that big of a deal for me. And then realizing later, if I would have just followed those exact steps that people gave to me at the beginning, I would have like succeeded so much faster.
Yeah.
And that was always like a big thing for me, was like hitting a goal I really wanted to hit. Like as fast as humanly possible. Like, that was always my thing. I was very impatient. So that's probably one thing that would have helped me accomplish my goals a little bit faster.
I was told by an anonymous source that the roof of your house blew off. You want to tell me a little bit more about that? Because they wouldn't tell me.
Yeah, so it was last year, kind of around this time as well. It was like monsoon season.
That's recent.
Yeah, it was just last year. Literally about a year ago today. I forget what the thing is called. It's like a little mini tornado. I forget the name of them or what they're called. But those things like push up to like 60, 70 miles per hour, I guess, in winds. And out of nowhere, just literally it started raining really hard and the wind started blowing really hard. My house started shaking and I saw somebody's roof in my backyard, and come to find out it was mine. I thought I was actually laughing. I was about to make a post on my Instagram saying like, "Yay, if anybody's missing the roof, it's in my backyard." Come to find out it was mine, so thank God I didn't post that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm laughing because of the way you were explaining it, not because of what happened.
No, it was funny for sure. It was
okay,
funny.
well, I'm glad you're okay. Did you just like go into work the next day? Like, what was the aftermath of that?
No, I called Barry, my manager, literally like 10 minutes after, and I was like, "Hey man, like I can't come in tomorrow."
He's like, "Why?
He's
You
like,
a little cold?
"Why? Like what's going on?" And I was like, "Well, like my roof just came off, so I'm not gonna be able to make it tomorrow."
That's the kind of thing you can't make up.
Yeah,
like,
no, he literally he was in disbelief because I never call off, you know what I mean? So like if I'm telling him I can't make it, there always has to be like some drastic reason, and roof coming off was definitely one of them.
Yeah, debatable. I mean, I'm kidding. How did you stay when you finally came back to work and everything? How did you stay like focused and all those things when you had like a personal challenge going on?
As funny as it sounds, it's kind of just leaving it at the door. One of the most important things I learned about this industry is that a lot of it is a mental game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we don't do any like physical work literally, but a lot of it's a mental game that when you come in, you have to all leave the negativity at the door, leave the bad day that you had yesterday at the door. You know what I mean? It's a brand new day. It's a brand new opportunity. And if you don't, the reason why it's so important is because people can read that off of you. You know what I mean? They can hear it. When you're in a bad mood, obviously, like it's very easy to sense. That's probably one of the biggest things is just kind of leaving it at the door and then, having to deal with it later on. Yeah.
We're going to play a little game. It's going to be our game break. Are you thirsty?
Sure, yeah.
You're a little thirsty?
Okay. Oh my God, perfect.
I'm going to have one with you if that's okay.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
the hard stuff.
No,
Tell us
this
what you got
comes
there.
directly from Barry Baum's fridge. It's one of the best things in the world. He put me onto it. It's Honest Kids Organic Super Fruit Punch.
Sponsor us.
Hands down the best.
This is a fun little brain break, I'm going to call it. What you're going to do is just spin the wheel.
Okay.
And no matter whatever it lands on, you should talk about it for 60 seconds.
Okay.
You ready?
I spin or you spin?
You spin. 3, 2, oh, just go. What are we on?
What is it?
Leaving before 5 p.m. Go.
Leaving before 5 p.m. Barry Baum really doesn't appreciate leaving before 5 p.m. You get a lot of heat if you leave before 5 p.m. I do remember one time I had to leave before 5 p.m. for something, and even Katz gave me heat the next day. He was like, "Dude, I don't know what you're doing leaving."
Yeah.
He's like, "You're so young. Like, what are you doing going back to your kids at home? Like, what is the big deal?" So I remember that. He did give me a lot of heat for that, but yeah, it's not a good thing to do here. It's not a good thing to do, especially if you're coming in at like a normal time, like 7 or 8 a.m. You will catch a lot of heat for leaving before 5.
So it was just one time?
Yeah, it was like 1 or 2 times, something like that.
At such a young age, how do you balance work and personal life, especially during like intense funding months? Because being young, you want to keep your social life.
It's just kind of more of like a weekday type of thing. I feel like everybody works during the week, so it's not too hard to balance it, especially because obviously I am very young and I don't have like a family I have to maintain or anything like that, or kids I have to come home to. Just keeping it all during the week for work, and then obviously the weekends to myself. It's a big deal for sure.
Who has been the biggest mentor or inspiration for you in your journey so far?
That's hard. I've had a lot of mentors. I've had a lot of people lead me on the right paths that for sure without them I would be God knows where. I would say when I started here at IHO, my biggest help was definitely Robin. Robin taught me exactly what to do and how to do it. And then who perfected that was Barry. Like, Barry made sure everything was to the T, and that if I wasn't doing it a certain way, that I'm failing. I have a lot of mentors though, for sure. I have a lot of people that help me out. Bill is definitely a big, aspect of that too. When I first started, like we had no set managers, so Bill was just kind of running the entire operation, and it was crazy because it was all the LOs just basically running to build 90% of the time.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of the people here, I'm always getting advice or, asking for help from a bunch of different people. I remember I would literally go to like Moose like every day and just try to have a conversation with them, try to learn something from him. Like he'll like recommend me books to read, games to play. I feel like I grab a lot from just people all over and a lot of the top producers here, and I'm grateful for it for sure because they make the time to be able to give me all that information every day.
What's your vision for where you want to take your career in the next like 5 or 10 years?
It really, it's hard to say. Quite frankly, we grow so fast, and there's always like new things opening every single day that I step into this office, quite frankly. So it would be really cool eventually to have like my own team and have my own loan officers working under me and everything like that. That would be really cool. But I'm still learning literally every single day. It doesn't matter, you know what I mean? If I was number 1 this month, it doesn't matter if I'm a pretty good loan officer, whatever the case may be. I learn literally every single day when I walk into this office, and somebody will teach me, even other loan officers that are new, you know what I mean? So it's really cool, but I definitely have tons to learn, things to grow on and everything like that. But yeah, I would be excited to eventually run my team and hopefully, teach what I've learned throughout the years to other people too.
If another younger person or not as experienced person wanted to break into the mortgage industry, what kind of advice would you give them to start out?
Kind of like how I said earlier, my biggest fail was not listening to every single piece of advice I was given, because it's hard sometimes, you know what I mean? You're learning from people that are experienced, but sometimes, advice isn't the best advice, you know what I mean? So it's hard to kind of filter out the good and the bad, but pay attention to the good advice, pay attention to the people that are really succeeding around you, and when they tell you to do something, it's because they want you to succeed, you know what I mean? It's not because they want you to fail. It's not because they want you to lead down the wrong path or anything like that. Like, they're taking their time out of their day,
right,
when they could be doing something so much more important, to tell you how to do something properly and the best way possible. So definitely just taking advice, making sure that you get along with everybody. It's important to get along with everybody because everybody has something to share, you know what I mean? One Barry Baum might not tell you the same thing as Zach Robin, but they're both very, very good information, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So they help you grow.
Yeah. And then what do you think a younger or lesser experienced LO's first step should be to break into the industry? Like the very first thing they do?
It's a really big thing of commitment, to be honest with you. You have to, you have to be all in, you can't be, one toe in the water, like they say. It's really, you have to jump in, you have to get licensed, and you have to be ready to commit and take a huge pay cut while you're doing that. You know what I mean? It's hard. A lot of people can't do it, and certain people's, point of their lives, they're not able to, literally speaking. So
But it sounds like it's a payoff. It pays off eventually.
it pays off, but it's a huge investment. And like I said, if you're going to jump into it, you can't jump in like halfway. You got to go all in. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
How does it feel that you got turned down at your previous employer and now you're our number 1 LO during our biggest month?
You might not know this, but I did know Katz when I was literally only like 17, 18 years old. And I interviewed with him. There was a huge interview. It was a group interview type of thing. There was like literally over 50 people there. And
Wow.
I was hands down the youngest. I literally cut class during high school
No
to go
way.
do this interview. Yeah, I came and I interviewed with like tons of the people here as well, tons of the managers here. And at the end, I don't know if this is 100% true, but one of them told me that only like 3 people got to speak with Katz, and I was one of the lucky few.
Congratulations.
So I do remember walking into the office, and Katz just sat me down. I was just kind of like, mind blown that I made it there. And then he hit me with a starstruck question saying, you want me to give you a job that can pay you X, Y, and Z, and you haven't even graduated high school. Like, why should I hire you? Like, why are you in my office right now? And I just remember being completely starstruck and just trying to tell him, like, look, man, like, I'm all in. Like, I'm trying to just make you a lot of money. I'm trying to make myself a lot of money. Like, this is what I would love to do with my career. Like, I'm not going to college. Like, this is what I want to do. He's hard to convince. So I just remember he told me, he was like, look, man, just talk to me when you graduate high school. You know what I mean? So years later, I eventually, fell upon IHL, which was great, and I was really, really grateful that I was able to do it. And I just remember that when I came back and interviewed with him, he did remember me, and it was really cool just kind of like doing a full circle right back to him, and everything worked out for the better for sure.
Do you think you'd have an easier time getting to the top 10 if you were staying later instead of leaving at 5 p.m. when you have no kids?
Yeah, 1,000%. You know, one of the biggest things here is, and what they say a lot that kind of stuck with me is hard work outworks talent, right? It will always be talent, right? So when talent doesn't work hard enough, hard work always beats that. So with that being said, I do understand that definitely working harder, I mean, there's no doubt about it, you always do better.
Mm-hmm.
So for sure, I do believe if I were to work like literally so much more in a day and everything like that, I could definitely be way better in my job. But I'm happy on how I do it right now. I'm very glad because I feel like I do come in earlier and I get things done that I want to get done, and I always set it like a personal agenda for myself every single day when I walk in about what I need to do, how I need to hit it, and if I didn't hit it at the end of the day, why, right?
That's good. Sounds
Yeah.
like you hold yourself accountable.
For sure, because that was one of the most important things that Katz told me when I first joined was if you walked into this office and you didn't, you know, do your job, which means basically if you didn't get what you needed to do for the day, like an app, then before you walk out of the office, ask yourself why. Like really ask yourself why. Is it because you didn't work hard enough? Is it because you had a bad day? You're in a bad mood? Like what was it that stopped you from doing what you do every single day for a living? And I make sure I hold myself accountable for that. Because it's a big deal for sure, you know what I mean? You never want to backpedal.
You still owe Eric a green tea, he said. He just said that the Starbucks gift card wasn't going to cut it. He wants a personal hand-delivered green tea to his desk.
I promise him every time that I have my next big month or I hit a really big accomplishment. Because one time I did, and I asked him, I was like, there's something that I owe to you. He was like, all right, this is what I want you to do. Because I want you to go to Starbucks. Because I want you to get a Trenta unsweet green tea. And I was like, that's it? And he was like, yeah, that's what I want. It's like,
Fair.
anytime you hit a good accomplishment, like, do that. So I left out of town last week, and he was, like, coming in as soon as I left. So I just made sure to leave a gift card to let him know, hey, man, here's your green tea.
I love that. I mean, better than an old green tea on his desk when he comes in. Now that you've reached this level of success in your career, why IHL? Like, why stay here?
That's a great question. So I'm happy here. And one of the main reasons why I'm happy, the support that you get from everybody here. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to win, but when people actually are happy that you win, people are happy that every single thing they told you actually paid off. You know what I mean? Like I said, when talented people set a time, even a couple minutes out of their day to speak to a kid that they got no idea is what it's going to do with their lives, you know what I mean? Then it's a big deal, and I feel like it really pays off, or like kind of gives them a sense of relief when they see that that person actually did something with that information that, you know, you set aside to give to them. You know what I mean? Because, like, for example, Katz is a CEO of a company, right? And anytime I asked him for advice, he would literally sit down and, like, give me advice. You know what I mean? That was a really big deal for me because he would set some time out of his day just to do that. But seeing that and, like, doing that but not seeing results out of it, I feel like that can be really bad. So, you know, that type of group and being able to work around those type of people, especially when they're super happy and they see that, like, everything pays off for what you're doing, it's a big deal.
Well, thank you so much. It's
sure.
been a pleasure hosting you, my very first guest, so thank you so much.
Absolutely. It was
and great. I hope we can have you back soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.